my gut is telling me something happened on your end. And I don't say that many times at all in cases involving money orders. But she gets 4 money orders and goes down and pays it.
I understand that, Judge. However, again, this is news to us, so this could have been easily reconciled outside of courts. We would have an answer for you now, but we don't, because now we have to go back and trace it. Both sides can trace this money order. And if she needs to be credited that $500, my client will credit her that $500, which would leave her with a $722.
From that's basically 3 months.
That's 3 months.
Yeah, so July, August, and if it's adjourned out, I'd be adjourning it out into September, right? So, how much is owing on Woods?
What's currently owes through August, $4,188 in rent, $170 in the attorney fees and costs. That's just, we haven't asked for additional costs, Your Honor. And then 4,358 is the redemptive amount. The last payment,
4,300 what?
the last payment that we received on her behalf was on June 9th in 2026.
Okay. And on, hey, hang on, please. And on Smith, how much is plaintiff claim is?
Yes, Judge, I'm showing rent to retaining amount of $6,915 due knowing through August, 170 attorney fees and costs for a total of $7,085. Last payment received was on 7/1/2026. And I believe there was escrow, but I'm not sure if one has paid with escrow and the other has paid directly to my client.
I have in Miss. How come I do? So in Miss Smith's case, I have no escrow. In Miss Wood's case, I have 1568 escrow. Yes.
I just wanted to Min Kim on behalf of Miss Smith and Miss Woods. For Miss Woods, she paid escrow, I believe, for July and August to the court. And also,
When did she do that? Hang on. Yes, she did. So I have another 1568. Is that what you have?
Yes, sir. You have 3136.
Thank you.
and Miss Woods disputes the balance because they failed to credit her one of her money orders, and she has proof of that. And for Miss Smith, she paid her July escrow directly to the landlord. She did, which we discussed.
We discussed that the last. I get it. But the balance you gave me is with that credit.
Yes, it is.
So, oh,
Again, no discussions about the merits of the case. If she offered or anyone offered.
look, stop. Everybody just stop. Everybody just stop. All I want to know is this. So, because here's just the practical reality. If I let them assert the affirmative defense, consider it fatal to the plaintiff's case, what ends up happening is the cases are dismissed. Then they're refiled, which seems to me is going to tack more court costs onto the defendant potentially at some point. So,
Your Honor.
folks, are you real quick, Miss Smith or Miss Woods is what, about 1,000 some odd off from getting everything corrected?
Incorrect, though.
What is incorrect?
Balance that's remaining after you deduct the escrow payments is an amount that is incorrect because they failed to credit her a $500 money order, and then every.
Okay, so let's say, okay, what I'm getting at is this. Let's say the money order is there. Let's say somehow you gotta litigate that. What my point is, Ms. Wood's tenancy can be preserved. It is so close to whatever. But I don't know whether or not you have an interest in that happening.
Your Honor, we do have an interest in that happening. They're our clients. And so what we propose is that this case be dismissed, that no court costs be assessed because it never should have been filed in the first place. And that
But you're not-
the
Not gonna win that because I would be dismissing not on the basis that you view the CARES Act. You might be right if they never invoked the jurisdiction of this court. I do not believe that to be true. Where is the money order? Where did you said she had proof of a money order
So
with her right now?
and she has attempted to address it with landlord and they won't even give her a ledger. This is very common with many tenants that are at.
Well, I don't know about other tenants. I'm just dealing with Miss Woods right now.
she's requested a ledger and they has not received one.
Allegedly.
Okay, allegedly. Ah! Give me all right. Here. This is killing me, Smalls.
I mean, Judge, we're pretty reasonable here. If we were presented with if we were presented.
Nobody's
with the money order, we would have applied.
I just want, all right, look,
I mean, our goal is always.
where's her, are those her money order stubs? All right.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, well, Anne, can we get,
I see them yet?
I know. Give those to Anne and make copies so that everybody has copies. If you're going to object to them, I will give you an opportunity to object to them, right? I will. So Anne, who can give me a copy of the ledger?
We have a copy in our possession now. I can provide it.
Okay, Anne, get that too. Make a copy because I can't do anything with that. Please, thank you. Going back to Miss Wood's case, I think, with the receipts. Did you get a copy of those?
Yes, that's, yeah.
Okay. And
Oh, they're souls. Oh, did you get the originals of their receipts? Yeah, I own it.
okay. Has she tried to trace on these at all? Or did
Try tracing.
I'm sorry, tracing.
Did you want to?
yeah. Did you do a trace on these to try to find out if they've been cash?
I haven't traced them to money order.
Go ahead.
I haven't traced the money, haven't tried to do a
You
trace.
haven't tried to do that?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I still have all 4 original money orders.
Oh,
I mean, the stubs,
the steps. Yeah.
So
the
that-
one that we just
yeah.
got a copy.
Got it. Okay.
but I haven't tried to track.
Money orders, I see why. No, okay, I got it. But you haven't tried to
No.
trace through this company to see.
No.
Got it. Oh,
Out of the four money orders receipts, 3 of them are reflected in the ledgers. One of them is not reflected in the ledger, but it does not mean it's not somewhere in there, or it doesn't say who it's made out to. So it doesn't necessarily mean.
I signed everything at the front from the person who stamped them and put her initials on them.
say that again.
I signed my money orders in front of the attendant at the front counter, and she stamped them with the Hayward Hill stamp, and she initialed the back of them to make sure I had all 4.
Got it.
Also, tell us which one is not reflected in the ledger.
Yes, the one that's ending in number 1336.
Yeah, we can assist Ms. Woods and help, trying to trace that if that's what you prefer.
So how much was that one?
500.
That's a 500. Gotcha. So I'm only, bear with me because sometimes I've got to catch up, okay? So there are four things here, right? But only one of them is at
Missing.
for you,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the one ending in 3-6. So it's not looking at all four, it's just got it. Mip, are all of these $500?
Three are 500. One is for the 68, 58. So 1,500. Three of them are five. One of them is for the 58 because they can only do 500 at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
If I was allowed to pay online like everybody else could pay online with an e-check, I had to go and get my account unlocked because I could even pay from my banking account online because she had to unlock my account in order for me to even pay it online instead of me just going to get the money orders from the store and walking around with $1,500.
okay. So your the portal's locked.
She unlocked it last month or when I went to her and said, why can't I pay online?
Okay, so
Now my portal is unlocked, but everything's going into escrow now.
right. And then that means you have to go to your bank and get cash so that you can pay it to. I got you. Okay. So I see a series of $500 credits. And so it, let's see, golly, well, yeah, these four that you gave me, you took those all in at once
Yes, sir.
because
I have the same date on them.
that's how you pay your rent.
Yes, and then the sequence numbers all kind of match, except for just one of them, but all the last numbers match in sequence. Except one. I think one is like off by one number.
They're all.
Well, I see.
That's the last digits of them. They follow in like numerical order.
5, 6, 7, 8, but the next number may not be
Yes.
sequential. So you can't look at the last three. It's not that way.
Yes. So this is every last.
The last digit.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay. So is there a way? I mean, because I'll just tell you what my gut's telling me. My gut's telling me that it's not that she didn't pay. Somebody's missing the receipt of it. I mean, that's what my gut's telling me because she's she goes and gets 4 money orders every time to pay her rent. And I find it a little bit difficult to believe that she then took one of those and didn't give it to the lady. Quite frankly, I had the portal, but we wouldn't even have it.
Portal is closed, obviously, Judge, because it's in litigation, so that is why that's the.
It was closed before the,
Hold on. What sense does that make?
That's, it's not uncommon for the landlord for them to lock the portals once it's in court until it's resolved.
Why in the blue blazes would you do that?
I am, Judge, that's,
Blue blazes is a legal term.
But if I may speak, at the time, a lot of the residents, there was a transition of systems, so that's why I opened up the portal. It wasn't that we went in, but it was maliciously locked the portal. There's a transfer of a new system we're going to, and a lot of people just, they got locked out. So we had to reopen the portal for people, but it wasn't anything that we deliberately did. But it does get locked out if you have an NSF or insufficient funds or if we're in the middle of legal. That's when the accounting department at the corporate will lock it out. But hers, I don't show was locked out.
I was locked out because you opened it. I sat in your office and you opened it while you were sitting there.
But that's what I'm saying, it wasn't locked.
But it wasn't locked. I just wanted to make sure, ma'am, I was just trying to figure out why were you locked out? And it sounds to me like it's a systems issue as opposed to a policy issue, just locking you out. That's what I'm.
I forget the manager's name. She said that corporate locks the accounts in litigation. Portals in litigation.
no,
that's what I
she,
said.
she did say that. That's corporate. That's has something to do with.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, Judge.
That makes. Oh, I almost said a bad word. That makes no sense. Especially, I could see it if it were a termination case, maybe I could see that. But on a non-payment of rent case, why are we making it hard for people to pay? I don't get it.
I can defer to my client. She knows.
Just the system does not allow a partial payment, Your Honor.
Well, which is also stupid, but I get that. That happens with
Which is why I took the initiative to open it up to allow the partial to make it easier for the resident.
why aren't they just allowing the partial payments? People don't get a big check. All at once, I mean, all that money doesn't go into their account all at once. So even if you tack on a late fee, but she can pay through the portal when she has it, right? It just doesn't make any sense. But it's unlocked for you now, right? You can make partial payments.
I put $3,200 in escrow, which is July's,
Right.
August rent. So that's it.
But you don't, okay,
So
and that's fair. You don't know whether it works because you've been paying to the court.
because I've been paying to the court. Yes, sir.
Got it.
I knew it, but I did go in and piggyback to make sure it was able to take my card, even though it was a $48 convenience fee to pay with my bank card. I can still go in and see that I was allowed to put my card in.
So they charge you $48?
Your Honor, I've instructed every resident to link your e-checking, which is only $3.90.
Got it, right.
It's gonna cost you an offensive amount of stuff.
Yeah, I got you. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yeah.
That's not uncommon.
I wasn't unable to pay with the e-check even before we had our court. That's when I got it unlocked. But by the time I got it unlocked, I already had paid rent with the money orders.
All right. All right. This one's gonna. So if I take all the money that's in escrow, she's gonna owe
1,222. But that does not,
$1,222.
it does not include the $500. If that is located, obviously it would have.
I think she paid it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think something.
I tried to reconcile the first amount and no one would talk to me about the first amount that you said that I owed. And that's why we're here right now. And things are accruing the way they are accruing because no one would sit down and explain to me where the first amount of money came from when I asked them to. I kept getting dismissed.
Your Honor,
Miss Woods, I hear you. Okay. And Ms. Woods, I'm not dismissing you. All right. That will never happen here. You understand me? So I get that. And you're right. People, you're trying to just do your business and people need to respect that and they need to talk to you. I hear you. How was, and I guess I'll ask counsel, how was, if she were to get the credit for the 500, how the 722?
Well, Your Honor, we think that they should also waive the late fees and the other charges, the $48 charge, because it was impossible for her to pay otherwise.
Well, it's not in the $48 convenience fees, a weird thing. I don't know what I quite do with that because it's not something where that's not an uncommon thing in the system, which is why she's saying link your e-check. And I don't know, I'm not even sure why there shouldn't be a fee on the e-check because they're going right.
It's being wired directly to their.
Yeah. Whereas I get I mean, it's crazy that it's $48, but I get it. I get that.
In Your Honor, that wouldn't have brought her to a zero balance. So
What would have brought her to a zero?
they were asking to waive late fees and so on and so forth. The late fees automatically accrue unless there's a zero balance on the account. There was no zero balance on the account. Even if we were to credit that $500, it wouldn't have been a zero balance. She still would have had a balance. And so those late fees are appropriate.
Well,
Your Honor, I have never been told that there was a missing money order. I do not dispute that that could be the case, but this is the first I'm hearing of that.
I know.
It could be they didn't put the right unit number. It's easily.
Did look the right one?
It could have been the wrong unit on this money order. I was never told that.
Gotcha. I got you. No,
This is the first I've heard of this.
no, I thank you. And I appreciate that. I get,
Residents. But I wasn't told this till today.
yeah. And no, I get it. I'm not saying that you wouldn't have done something. It sounds to me like when they come talk to you, they're hurt. I don't think what she was saying was really necessarily directed at you. Something tells me because you're the one that got the portal unlocked. How much do you have? How much are late fees for you guys? That
50.
So what would be the total amount of late fees that you're looking at?
I see 4-5 months at $250.
200 or 250?
255 months.
Got it.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm gonna have to object to any waiver, any late fees because of the fact that, again, the last time she was adding zero balance was
You know what?
in March of twenty twenty.
Okay, I get you object.
My client is within the right to collect pursuant to anything that's within the lease, Your Honor. And so,
You want me to go through an analysis regarding your late fee because your late fees have to be accrued to your client efforts in attempting to try to collect rent.
right,
If I were to find, and I'm going to tell you, you can talk to the people at McKinley because I went through it. If you want me to order that, I will. It will be a nightmare for you to get the information to me that you want. I just give you that warning, counsel.
I guess so respectfully, Your Honor, the court is getting frustrated because,
I'm not frustrated.
again, Your Honor.
Trust me, if I were frustrated, everybody would know and run. I am not frustrated.
So I believe that this case could have been resolved outside of the court's, without the court's intervention and.
Well, I'm here now.
And we can still do that, Your Honor,
Okay,
if they're amenable to a resolution.
everybody needs to just stop talking. Because all I'm trying to do for right now with Ms. Woods is this. And I'm making my thoughts rather clear. I think she paid the 500. I think the 500 is just not, it's missing somewhere. It may have got, I don't think anybody tried to do anything intentional. I'm not saying that. But the way she would pay her rent, in my experience, somebody doesn't show up with 4 money orders and they keep one. Right? That doesn't happen. And then keep the one that sequentially would be in the middle of the other two. That none of that makes any sense to me. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. I just, so it's, no, I get it. I get it.
Going to applied around the same time, which would have been a $500 difference in her balance, which at that time, if it were received and applied correctly, it would have been, she would have still had a remaining balance of $462 if that $500 was applied.
Okay. Here's the deal. All I'm trying to do, Miss Woods just wants to get to 0. Right, Miss Woods?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then that way she can figure out how to go on. Now that the portal's open, she can figure out all of that. She can get her rent paid. We don't run into the money issue. So all I was trying to get to was that she's at 720. If the 500 comes off, she's at 722. Then there was a indication regarding late fees, right? So if I just momentarily say she's at 722, and let's say I just take 200 of the late fees. Say right now, I'm not going to worry about them. Then I'd have to ask you, could you come up with $522? Or let me say, when could you? Better way.
2 weeks will suffice.
Pardon?
2 weeks will suffice. 14 days. If I can get 14 days, I can come up.
Pardon?
14 days.
Could you explain to me again how you come up with 522?
Because what I did, she's at 12, they gave me a number 1222. If I say I take the 500 off, right? Because I think she paid it, we just have to figure that out. Then I'm at 722.
Is that court costs and court fees?
Hold on, just a second. So then I'm at 722. Then I said, okay, there's $250 in disputed late fees. At some point we'll have to figure that out. But if I take 200 of that, and I just take 200 of that, I came to 522. And then I asked Ms. Woods, how long would it take you to do that? And she told me 14 days. It's
So
funny.
you're
It's
not-
funny with all of these lawyers in here. The only one that was following me was Miss Woods. Go ahead. What?
I just wanted to note, council just stated that if the $500 had been credited, her balance would have been 462. That would have been early June.
Early June. Okay.
Original
462 in early June. And then I see in July, they charged her the 568 plus a $50 late fee. That 568 went into escrow. In August, they charged her 568. And this ledger says $40 in August late fees. That was put into escrow.
1568.
So,
Sorry,
so
plus 40 in August. And so just from this ledger, it seemed to me that her balance is more like 462,
for what?
462.
We're right. And actually, had I taken the whole 250 that you disputed, I think we're at the same number.
I think it would have been even less because that,
No, I took, so when you said you disputed 250, I just rounded to 200 to see where she was in terms of funds.
Mhm.
So even with
I didn't take the 250 off. If I take the 250 off, I'm at
that,
722 minus 50.
that,
No, 722 minus 250. Hang on a second before you say anything. 672? No, you can't get
470.
472. What'd you say?
472.
47.
Which is we're $10 difference.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Had I taken the whole 250 that you're disputing, we'd be talking the same number. Basically.
Yeah, I don't know where council's 1222 number comes from, but we are.
Balance. That's the balance that she owes less escrow. That's where we started from. That's where the 1222 comes in. And then the 500 is, then you take off 500 of the money order. And then you got $250 of disputed late fees. Part of those late fees I may be able to solve right now. Did you charge her late fees for July and August?
Yes.
Yes. And
That's the $50. Those come off. She paid her money into escrow. There's no late fee.
I'm wondering, I mean, we might be looking at different ledgers because the final balance on this one that we just got from council is 4188. And when I subtract, I believe it's 136 in escrow, I get 1052.
That's before the attorney fee.
And we don't believe there should be attorney's fees.
Of
This,
course.
no, I know. I hear you. I get all of that. And folks, somebody's going to have to move on the numbers. If it's going to get resolved. Miss Wood's case is so close.
John, we agree, but we just want to say that you can rule today that you're denying our motion,
Or I can not rule at all
but if
today.
you render a judgment, then you've denied our motion.
If I do what?
If you render a judgment, then you've denied our motion.
No, that's not true. That's what you would like to think, but that's not true.
We've moved for summary disposition. We don't have a ruling.
You're right.
And so you can't proceed to judgment unless you've denied that motion.
Have I said I'm issuing a judgment?
Are you?
Oh, when I'm issuing a judgment, you'll know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to zero.
And we know that we're close, Your Honor.
And here's what I'm saying. By default, the case gets dismissed, right? Frankly, with another payment without a judgment. Because she would have zeroed. That's what I'm saying. And then Miss Woods can just go on and not have to talk to me,
And absolutely, if that's what she prefers to do, she's our client, we will accede to her wishes.
I mean, but you understand what I'm saying, right? So,
I understand what you're saying. My only thing was when I originally was told that I was owed the 352, and I asked her where did it come from. No one explained to me where it came from. But when I pulled out my security deposit payment program, 352 was the last part paid for my security deposit. The exact amount was what they told me I owed. They transferred from my rental account all my money over to my security deposit, which made me pay over $250 for a security deposit that was only supposed to be $2,350. That's why you wanted to see the case again, because when I told you that I didn't believe that I owed that money, it was like, okay, well, we need to see the case again so I can check.
I remember.
Yeah.
I can speak on that, Your Honor. And I took over Haverhill in April.
Lucky.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
My observation was when they moved in, a lot of the residents weren't understanding. When they paid their monies, it sat on the resident side. It was their deposit with their intentions of having it be that. So when they would look at their ledger, they would think they had a credit. Once the accountant moved it over to deposit, that's when you would start to see then the negative pop up on that. So that's the first thing I saw. The other thing that I can honestly say, because I've experienced it, when I'm being cursed out, staff is instructed not to speak to anyone. I've been cursed out despite my motives to try to resolve with Ms. Woods. I've been cursed out. At that point, we disengaged, Your Honor. We're just not going to stand there and be there.
I have never cursed you out. Yes, I have became angry, but please do not stand here and say that I have cursed you out, because you would have called the police on me and had me escorted out of there if I was to cuss you out. You would have not just allowed me just to cuss you out freely and just walk away.
I should just cuss everybody out here. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Despite the effort that I tried to resolve, sometimes we don't engage because of.
No, I get it. I understand all of that. I think folks, you just have to realize from my standpoint, week after week after week, I see folks that are so far behind, it's hopeless. And ultimately, they're at some point. I'm looking at Ms. Wood's case and I'm just, maybe I get happy because it's just not that far off and she can be at zero and everything can be okay for her. That's what I'm saying. And I don't, the months outside of the last 2 months, the months for the late fees are what months, Miss?
June, July, August,
April, May, June,
August.
April, May, June. And that's when you paid with money orders, ma'am? I'll tell you what. Somebody needs to find that 500. Here's what I'm going to suggest to the parties just as a framework to try to resolve this. I'm going to adjourn any ruling on this matter to just give me a Friday.
Oh, you want Friday?
Well, when's my next Tuesday?
August 25th.
Oh, all right. I'm adjourning any ruling on this case to August 25th. Okay. That's a Tuesday. I am inclined to, and I'm doing this just as a framework for the parties. I am inclined not to waive all late fees because she was bringing everything down there. And that in and of itself is a hassle, right? I'm inclined to believe, although you have to find it, that the $500 was paid. I'm inclined to split any costs that would be associated. Right down the middle, 50%, one way or another way. I think at that point, if you come up with a number from that, I think from what Ms. Woods told me, 14 days from now, she could have that paid and be done.